morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, gorgeous. Good morning, gorgeous. Good morning, gorgeous. Where y'all at? Oh, my beautiful girl. I knew you was coming. I knew you was coming, Tootie. Hey, love. Good morning. Good morning. We got some coffee and some tea this morning. So we want to see who's up this morning. Y'all should know now that Miss Tammy trying to come on around this time. Around this time, I'm trying to come on so y'all get... I know y'all up. Jimmy should plug this in. Hold this. Good morning. I have a question. So what ended up happening with the guy? My name is Wes. I ain't in that mess. I don't know. When they stopped calling me, and I heard in the background where the recovery nurse was like, okay, we got it. Because I kept telling them to find the invoice, find the, follow the paper trail, find the invoice of whoever he originally paid. I was actually on the phone with the guy, and he was like, are you coming to get me? And he kept saying it for you, Maria, but after talking with the recovery nurse, letting him know that he thinks I'm Maria, he paid with Venmo, so that gave us a kind of clue and hint. You need to find his Venmo receipt and call his coordinator. And then the guy called me back, and then while I was on the phone with him, I can hear the recovery nurse I guess they did kind of discover something. But if you ask too many questions, you get, you kind of become a part of it. I ain't asked too many questions because I didn't want to be a part of that shit. I don't even know what surgery he had. That's how uninterested I was in, that piece of it. But I still felt bad for him, but I knew that I couldn't ask too many questions because then I'd put myself in it and my heartstring and all of that. But I just really didn't have availability for a guy anyway, so I didn't even want to go down that avenue to even give false hope to because they just be trying to get them out. So if I even act like I might be interested or could take him, they've been on that phone with me. They wouldn't be trying to figure shit out. They just zoom in on me. So I needed them to get the focus off of me, and please try to help this guy find somebody. I definitely wanted to talk about Tootie, the things that you and I were talking about. I think it's very important that this morning that we talk about that. So I wanted to wait for a few people to get on to understand that we are our worst enemies at the same time while we're out here fighting a battle. At one point, our mentality is what destroys us the most. And it saddens me to even, we are always trying to outdo the next one, or we are always in competition with our sisters, and we are all beautiful in our own way, right? And we should be uplifting and encouraging each other. And the inbox that I got, with social media body shaming, this is why these girls are actually coming down here, taking these risks. This is why you will see somebody at a 45 BMI find that attractive, because we got sisters out here body shaming each other, talking about how each other's bodies look, and because they might have got their body done, or somebody might have got their body done. I'm telling you, we so fucking petty, got our bodies done, and maybe somebody didn't look the best, right? Maybe they didn't pick the best doctor. Maybe the best work didn't happen for them, and I think that's when we should uplift our sisters, and this is the reason why this thing becomes a death trap, because we're on social media talking about each other, and what each other look like. Because somebody might have came right. So now this is another. We've always finding something to battle about, something that to top the next one with, So we, now it's becoming a fucking sport, Oh Lord, body done up, sport. Now is this a fucking sport now? Battle of the fucking bodies and shit like that. Like, I am appalled. Like, girls are out here losing their lives, and we're body shaming each other and topping each other. Bitch, I'm going back and get a double BBL, because I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck a double BBL is. But I guess, if it's out there, we getting ready to get it because she got a BBL. I'm going to go get a double BBL just to outdo her. Oh my God, we really still doing that? Like, they really doing that right now? And I'm just really appalled at the text message. I think everybody has, I think plastic surgery, it should be, okay, thank you. Option for everybody to become, where they can become the best version of themselves. I don't think that it's a good thing to know that people are competing with one another when it comes to now plastic surgery. Trying to outdo and out-top one another, in retrospect to my booty's bigger than yours. I want a booty like yours. Let's battle the bodies. Who's got the baddest body in town, and all of this shit. And this is what entraps women, and this is not a game. And this is the shit that they play off of. This is the shit that they market, when they find out that this now became a fad, it's a hobby, it's now a sport, when I heard that they're doing Battle of the Bodies, that Battle of the Bodies. So now bitches are going to take risks. People are going to take risks. So again, I see Goals. Goals is, in New York, they probably heard about it. They was like, okay, let's get us some big girls in here. You want to battle too? We'll do you at 45. This is what's leading us to our deaths, lady. And if you aren't a part of it, it's just a plea out to, if we ain't got nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. Because the emotional wreckage that this causes, because it is enough for a woman to want to do everything she needs to do to try to have this surgery. Surgery doesn't turn out well. She goes through an emotional depression enough for somebody to want to body shame her, or talk about how her body looks. And I'm just appalled. You guys, we need to talk about that. What are your takes on body shaming? Like, your sister, like, she already fucked up because she fucked up, or she picked the wrong doctor, or some people, I think they were kind of comparing it to T.I.'s wife, the way that she had looked at, I think the one of the things were talking about the her ant legs and big booty and stuff like that. And we need to uplift each other. That's just not right. That didn't sit well with me, because I'm out here, trying to help y'all save y'all lives and try to do this shit right. And then on the other hand, these are the ones that I was talking about that would sit in the waiting room while I'm arguing in the lobby, because they trying to take this girl money, and if y'all had a stood up from beginning and defended yourselves when seduction started that shit way back, and there's a group of black women in there, but nobody wanted to sacrifice that surgery because I guess later on you want to participate in battle of the body, so you don't stand for what is right, and then you want to bring your next sister down because maybe her surgery didn't turn out right, you know, and you know, guys, we've been doing this shit all our fucking life, especially us, you know. Our value system is so fucked up, so just warped. It's so warped, and sometimes that's why I say I feel like sometimes I'm just talking because y'all gonna do what the hell y'all gonna do anyway. People gonna do what they gonna do anyway. Maybe it's gonna save some people, maybe it's not. But here we is now. A few of us done got past the knife and probably got our bodies right a little bit, you know, and now we want to go shame somebody else. We want to go talk about the next girl, because, you know, but you ain't talking about how your ass probably was on the floor. You ain't talking about that. Those ones that's out here, bad bodies and stuff. You ain't talking about that. You done fell out, passed out, throwed up, that you damn near died. You know, you had a hard time, and then you got the nerve to get through that troubling time that got you to the other side, to shame somebody else. Because I know this surgery, it's a part of this surgery people don't talk about, you know, and it's not from the table, it's off the table, in between the table and post-op, and then after, and all of that stuff you go through, and then when you get through it, you don't go back to help somebody, but you go back to talk about somebody. That's not right. And karma's a mug. Karma's out there. Karma's out there. So I think today I just wanted to come on and say, you guys, you know, let's uplift each other. Let's not tear each other down, and really think about your journey. And those that say this shit was easy is a fucking lie. There's always something involved in this that nobody just, you know, unless you got money like that and you just went and paid Dr. Miami, you had your damn appointment. But if you in this black market ass shit down here in Miami and you getting surgery in these goddamn clinics, your ass going through something. And so you have to remember your journey and don't take that away from somebody, because somebody is mentally going through, and this is why they're able to give these unrealistic shit. This is why they milking our asses. This is why they taking our money. This is why they treating us like they treating us, because we can't stick together for shit. We, you know, the minute we get a nickel over a quarter, we think we done arrived. Or, you know, the minute we feel like we got a few, girl, you look goods, you know what I'm saying, though, now we want to turn around and talk about somebody else, you know, and that's not right. Plastic surgery don't last for the rest of your life. So somewhere down the line, you'll have to pay for that. And then you guys are on social media in these groups talking about people, you know, and instead, you know, why don't we tell her what to do? Why don't we tell her, the girl that maybe have the skinny legs and the big butt, try to help her figure out what to wear, how to blend it in, you know, encourage her, you know, instead of just bringing her down, you know. That's what I would do. I was, you know, try to tell her, you know, baby, it ain't bad. You know, this is what you can do. This is what you, because I knew when I first had my first surgery, my shit didn't turn out right. And people was talking about me, because I knew it, because one of my girlfriend's husband seen me somewhere, and he was like, it don't look that bad. That means that your ass was talking about me. And I knew that I couldn't wear, because I had no cuff. I had mostly top booty, and, you know, Dr. Hewley fucked me up back then, right? But what I did is, instead of taking lemon, I turned it into lemonade. It looked good in dresses. I just could not wear pants, or definitely not sweatpants. You know, oh my God, it was just fucked up. But I made the best out of it, because I knew until I could get it fixed, I had some cute ass dresses, and my booty looked good in dresses. I just couldn't wear pants. So again, just finding ways to make lemonade out of lemons instead of making it a sour experience for someone, or body shaming someone, or putting someone on blast, or talking about someone. Good morning, Mariana. I encourage us to uplift each other, because this is what's going to set precedence on how things will continue to look for us. Because when we're body shaming, or we are out here ridiculing people, it's going to cause people to take desperate measures. And as more people are taking desperate measures, the more these clinics are going to capitalize on our low self-esteem, no self-worth, desperate measure seeking asses, a miracle in a fucking lipo stick, wishing asses, and they are going to milk our asses, and at the end of the day start killing our asses. And it also starts with simple things like, us, instead of getting the word out, uplifting each other, flaunting our work, or talking about somebody else's work. And people gonna talk about people, but what I don't like is when you want to talk about somebody in this open forum called social media. Get on the phone and just call your girlfriend and say what the fuck you want to say, even though you shouldn't really be talking about anybody. But your intent, when you put it in writing and you put it out, is to hurt somebody. Your intent is to hurt somebody when you put it out social media, body shaming someone, and even if you don't say their name, they know who you're talking about, because you're so fucking descriptive in what it is that you're saying about the people. So at the end of the day, I think that, we we are our worst enemies at any sake. We, at one point, we Billy Badass, when we want to talk about people. Then we so fearful and want to ask questions to save our ass when we want to have surgery, and then when we get past that, and I get it a lot too. I get girls that are coming in the house, and they be all for it. They whatever you say, Miss Tammy, asking questions, eager to know, but they have a hidden agenda. They have selfish intents, and the minute you get their ass on their feet, then they get real petty and vicious and malicious with you. I get one damn near out of every group. But I've learned better on how to deal with it, because I understand that she's got to be going through something else in her life, and she didn't have this surgery for the right reason. So my job is to always try to plant a seed, a positive seed, hoping that it grows, hoping that, I say something, because it's not that you're treating me like this. That's just who the fuck you is out there. You just humble for a minute, because you need the surgery, because you're selfish as hell. So you get them ones, they don't give a shit about nobody. They just care about them. And those are the ones that are out here body shaming people, because they sit and they try to make sure that they good, and then they want to come and tear somebody else down. But that's not gonna help us in the direction that we need to go. And that is why systemic racism is, because they always play us against each other. We are probably the only race that really go up against each other, that really would continue to condition ourselves to think that way, that it's okay to shame your sister. It's okay to like, we don't have no more value system in just materialistical shit or outer, because it's an inside job, and we got to start changing how we feel and think inside. We got to gotta love our sisters. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm only one person, and the older that I get in life, I understand that my purpose ain't about material things anymore, because I can't take none of that shit with me. And just like the next bitch and the next nigga that you trying to get, or that girl nigga, all of that shit is not valuable, because you don't have value inside, especially when you're doing shicey ass shit. It's going to come back to you. And lo and behold, those that have made it through this journey and still is reaching back trying to help somebody else, you know. And like I tell the girls sometimes, embrace the changes that you've made. You can always have an opportunity to build on that. Don't ever let anybody shame you, you know, because I'm a living example. I did that, and that's why this topic is so sensitive to me, because the way that they were talking about me, and these were my friends behind my back, which, you know, I knew that my shit wasn't right, but I was happy with trying to cover it up with the dresses because I really didn't have the money to go back and correct it, you know. It caused me to make a decision that almost cost my life, because I didn't want them talking about me. I felt ashamed. I felt that, you know, I went, you know, to do this, and this was going to change the game for me. I was going to feel better about myself, and I still had to hide my body somewhat because I wasn't happy with my outcome. And it made me make hasty decisions. And you guys know later on I talked about my story about going back to DR on my own, you know, because I didn't want to tell anybody, and I was going to go and get my ass fixed, and I'm going to show these bitches, especially the ones that's talking about me, because I'm going to be, when I come back, I'm going to be super fine, you know what I'm saying, and bitches hate now, and my motives was so fucking wrong, you know, because I was doing fine in my motherfucking dresses, right? So I snuck my ass down there. I told my mom and them, but, you know, I snuck myself back down there. And it's because of that shaming, the thing that we're talking about today. You know, people behind me was like, ooh, her butt look funny. Ooh, this, ooh, that. And I knew it. And I had people calling me. But it wasn't nothing they wasn't telling me that I didn't know, because I didn't like my work, but I didn't like people talking about me, right? And it's not that I'm that happy with my overall results right now, but I've gotten better with me inside, right? So when I got this topic last night, it touched my heart, because I know that I made a decision because I was being body shamed about, you know, it's body shaming after getting your body done type of topic, right? So that's even like double the shame, right? Because I done went to I already didn't like my body from beginning, so I went to go and get it done, and then when I went to go get it done, it ain't done, you know what I'm saying? So the body shaming wasn't done, right? It was just on a whole nother level. And so when I snuck back down there, I think that if I look at it, I wasn't ready. You know, I do know that I had, you know, the stress and all of this. I had started back smoking, and I didn't stop smoking like I was supposed to, and I went down here, and it was all based on trying to shut the noise in my head, you know, and the way that I felt about myself, and the shame and guilt that I felt that I done spent all this money and I still don't have acceptance, or people still talking about me, or that outcome of that's a bad bitch right there, you know, the fantasy thought in my head when I first did it, like, you know, I had just gotten out of a relationship, you know, and yeah, he was fucking with some bad bitches too, though, right? You know, I ain't gonna lie, some of them, I couldn't top them, you know, my daughter's father, you know, and he, you know, and we had been together 11 years, and so I had gotten out of the relationship, and well, we had gotten out of the relationship, but because I couldn't compete with the streets, because I wasn't a street chick, you know. I was working, you know, trying to build a home and stuff like that, and I didn't know how to compete with the streets, because I wasn't, you know, I was cute, I was successful, but I was, you know, I was a white collar type chick, right? So my thing was, okay, if I'm going to get my ass back out here in this dating thing, I got to go get my body done. I got to go get some work. And when work didn't work, you know, it was all about my thinking, you know. And so I think that making that decision after it didn't go right to go back out for all the wrong reasons, I wasn't ready. It was a quick fix. You know, I was out of this relationship and I still was dealing with the emotions behind that. I still was dealing with, I wasn't done. I still had loved him. So I wanted his attention back, you know. After 11 years, how could you just go out there? So I figured like I'll turn myself into what he like, you know. And at the end of the day, I never said that I wasn't doing it for me, right? My mouth said that, but my heart and everything in me wasn't. So, through the body shaming, through that, you know, and then he was, oh my God, he was talking about me, girl. Y'all, he was talking about me. Oh yeah, he called me all kind of fake bitches and shit. You a fake bitch. You gonna win and try to get your body done. That shit don't even look right and this and that. So I'm telling you, I'll be as transparent as I can because I need to reach somebody. I need to reach somebody and saying, I don't care if you think status make you different, that you don't feel and you don't go through the same thing, because we all women. So I put mine out there. Oh yeah. And I talk to women about this. What if your man don't like it? What if he calls you fake and phony? And that shit will hurt me. Oh my God. He was like, with your fake ass, look at you. Now you going out getting your body done and all of this here. And then look at that shit. Don't even look. Oh my God. He body shamed me too. So I was like, oh fuck. But through all the situations that I went through, it strengthened me, you know. But I end up still going because all I was hearing is all of these people saying shit about me in my head. But I didn't listen to me, you know. But I allowed what people were saying about me. And the most thing is when he said that shit, oh God, listen, I got to go out here and get the biggest booty ever. Fuck that. I want to walk past this nigga jiggly, right? And damn near lost my goddamn life. Damn near lost my life, y'all. Went out there, didn't stop smoking, caught one of the biggest infections ever, and you guys that didn't hear the story, and during that time, human trafficking was really, really high, and at the same time, I did it, and I still think back, like, was they down with it? Was the owner of the company down with it? Who was in that house down there? Because they didn't call for help for me right away. And if it wasn't, and that's why I promote unity within my house, because I'm a free-spirited person, and you know, and I got to like, and you know, all the girls in the house and stuff, and they rallied up against them and said, y'all need to get her help, because they wasn't calling for help for me. They were talking in Spanish, and they would, you know, at one point I could barely lift my head up off the couch, and the ladies in the house got so angry, and that's when they called. But who they called was not a normal driver. And so this is what I'm talking about when we talk about body shaming us and making us make decisions that could cause us our death. And I'm saying this story because I know somebody that's body shaming. Somebody's going to take that 45 BMI because they're going to feel something like I'm feeling. And when I got in the car, I could only do is lay down, and I could barely lift my head. And I knew that I was in danger because as the driver was supposed to have been taking me to the clinic, he reached back and he started rubbing on my leg in the back of the car. And I knew then everything in me was like, this is not right. Like, you know, and I told him, stop touching me. And I remember picking up my phone, and I'm only telling a brief part of this because I tell the story, calling back to the house saying, he's not taking me to the clinic. Because when he did that act, because I was laying down, I didn't realize that we had been driving for more than what I remember. Because if anybody go to DR, you guys know that after surgery, the first night you stay in the clinic. So you go to your recovery house after that. So I remember that it wasn't this long. And he was stopping and he was talking to people. I don't know if this fucker was trying to sell me or what, but I remember looking in the crack of the window, and I kept saying, I don't remember this. And so because he touched me, I knew then that something wasn't right. And so all of my alert systems became up, and I'm like now noticing everything, because I thought I was safe. I was laying down, I'm getting ready to go get some help, I'm going to the clinic, and until that one act happened, I knew that something was wrong about this. I called back to the house, and I remember screaming and yelling, he's not taking me to the clinic, he's not taking me to the clinic. And he reached back and he turned around, he said, no, mommy, no. And he like put the phone down, and 2 minutes later he got a call, and I think that call said the gig is up, the bitch got her phone, take her to the clinic. And to this day, I will take a shout out to Dr. Tania Medina, because she saved my life.